Isn't that handsome? Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest installment of Split Second, the show where watches are plentiful and memes are reprehensible. My name is Julio, and watches are like my crack. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Now, remember, first of all, to like, comment, and subscribe. Before we proceed, a quick wrist check. I am wearing, quite fittingly, the Sangamon Omaha Beach that I got from Wrist Check Monthly a couple months ago. And the reason I say it's fitting for today is because we are going to be taking a look at another watch that they recently sent out as a bronze check subscription. This is the AMWG Red Moon, and in this video I'm going to give you a rundown of the specs on it, as well as what I like, what I wish were different, and any QC issues I may have found. Now, this watch was sent to me for review. However, since I don't get to keep it, you aren't seeing the includes paid promotion disclaimer right here on the bottom left hand side, right? After I'm finished shooting, this watch is going to be going back to the guys at Wrist Check Monthly so that it can be dispatched to another reviewer. A mechaquartz powered chronograph. The Red Moon gets its name from the hypnotic red sunburst subdials in a 3 and 9 layout, which are complemented by matching baton indexes in the same shade of red with kind of the same sunburst effect too, if you look at how it angles a little bit there. The date is perfectly located at 6 o'clock, which in my opinion provides optimal balance and symmetry. On the outer edge is a white, kind of also sunburst effect minute track, which includes sub-second markings for more precise timing. The white center dial has minimal printing with the AMWG, which stands for Asian Mechanical Watch Group, logo at 12, and the word chronograph right beneath that. Above the date, the words limited edition are neatly printed, and the sparingly used text really gives the dial an overall clean look. Now, the white handset makes for great visibility and contrast on the registers, at the cost of some visibility as far as the larger hour, minute, and chronograph second hands are concerned. More on that later. Protecting the dial is an entrancing box dome AR-coated sapphire crystal, which gives off plenty of that distortion that I'm such a sucker for. Look at that. That is just very, very handsome. Surrounding that crystal is a tachymeter bezel with etched markings, and sometimes these markings are printed, but if I run my nail across them I can feel the grooves. These are etched, and I'm leaving a bunch of smudgy fingerprints on there. The case, screw down crown, pushers, bracelet, and screw down case back are all 316L stainless steel, and the case and bracelet feature a good mix of brushed and polished finishes. The stated size on the AMWG website is 40 millimeters, but I measure it closer to 41, so 40.8, almost 41 millimeters. The lug to lug, which is a better measure of wearability, comes in at roughly about 47 millimeters, and it does have a 20 millimeter lug width, so you will never be short on strap options. Finally, the watch does come in at about 13 millimeters thick, although the website does list it as 11 millimeters, so maybe they weren't counting the crystal. The bracelet is a true 5-link. I know how sometimes you get that illusion of a 5-link, but this is the real deal, and it has a good degree of flex to it, which makes it very comfortable. It also has solid links and end links. Now, securing that bracelet is a milled push button release clasp. Now, powering the watch, I've been letting it run for a while so you can see. Powering the watch is a Seiko Instruments VK64 mechaquartz movement. Now, as you've seen in prior videos, a mechaquartz is a mechanical chronograph element inside of a quartz module, to put it in simplest terms. And this is my favorite part. Look at the 60-minute register and the ticking second and the chronograph seconds hand. Bep, you do not get that with a pure quartz chronograph. Now, the VK64 is an interesting choice due to the lack of a ticking seconds hand. On the one hand, at first glance, you wouldn't be able to tell it's a quartz if that's an issue for you, right? I don't particularly care, but some people are kind of, you know, ew, quartz, bleh. So if you're that type of person, this is not really obviously a quartz movement. On the other hand, you could just as easily think that the watch has stopped, because really there's nothing to give away that it's actually alive. Now, the 3 o'clock register actually serves as a 24-hour indicator, and the 9 o'clock is a 60-minute register, as I mentioned earlier. Now, one of the best things about mechaquartz movements is that the pushers are clicky, tactile, and really satisfying to operate. So your top pusher is a start and stop, and the bottom pusher is a reset. Now, AMWG have opted for a screw-down crown on this model, which is always nice, but it doesn't actually provide much added water resistance, as the watch only has 50 meters of stated water resistance. I would actually take this off even if it were just to wash my hands. Now, the sterile screw-down case back is really perfect for engraving, if you ask me. There's nothing there. You know, usually the case backs are decorated, so if you wanted to get this engraved as a present for someone, I think this is ideal. A welcome surprise that isn't advertised on their website is the loom. There is what appears to be C3 on the hands, as well as on teeny tiny little loom pips that are somewhat ingeniously camouflaged by the distortion of the dome. Now, in order to help you orient yourself in the dark, AMWG have opted to also place loom pips on either side of the 12 o'clock marker. The loom has a great initial burst, but it starts fading rather quickly, and, you know, that's to be expected considering there isn't really a ton of real estate to work with here. The hands really are pretty slim, and the markers and the loom pips, as I said, are really very tiny. Having said that, it is serviceable. Now, what do I like? Well, the watch is visually stunning. I could get lost in the multi-textured dial for days. The dome sapphire crystal provides tons of that distortion, and all printing is clean and crisp. And while initially unimpressed with the bracelet, it really did grow on me. It has tons of articulation and it's very comfortable. The case is super wearable, and it's just the right size for my 7-inch wrist. Now, because this is a review sample, I did not size up the bracelet, so this is more or less how it would look had I sized it up. But I figure I would have to remove maybe about 4 or 5 links for my 7-inch wrist. And as you can see, you know, this could easily fit someone with up to an 8-inch wrist, I think. Now, what do I wish were different? Well, not very much, really. Although the watch does have one particular design quirk that did leave me scratching my head a bit. I'm talking about the branding. The watch features one logo on the dial, another logo on the signed crown, and yet another logo on the clasp. And while it's not particularly bothersome in any way, like I said previously, it's just kind of confusing. The bracelet is quite nice, but the end links don't really integrate well into the case, and you can see that little protrusion right there, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if this is intentional, but it does make them seem like a bit of an afterthought. The last thing is, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the white hands. Now, on video it looks like they're coming up pretty clearly, but I can tell you in everyday use, you kind of have to stare at it for a second to kind of find where they are. Now, any QC issues? Well, I don't know if this is a QC issue or by design, but the end links kind of pivot a little bit. And I'm not really exerting a lot of force to do that. And while initially off-putting, upon wearing the watch, I got the sensation that the pivoting end links were actually giving a little bit of flex for added comfort. And in all fairness, this is not visibly noticeable in everyday use. It really kind of reminded me of the Formex watch that has the kind of floating module inside the case, and you just, it kind of gives a little bit when you move your wrist. It reminds me a little bit of that. So that's why I say I'm not sure if it's by design or not. The final verdict? Well, the Red Moon really is a great little watch. Now, given the option, I think I prefer to wear it on a rally strap, maybe black with red accents. It does provide great value where it counts, though. You can purchase one for $199 on the AMWG website, link down below. However, if you were a subscriber to Wrist Check Monthly in the month of April, you would have received this for £99, which is roughly around $140 at the time of shooting. Wrist Check Monthly are a Watch of the Month club, and as you can see from this example, they strive to bring you great watches, which are always of a higher value than what you pay for. By using my coupon code SPLITSECOND10 at checkout, you can save an additional 10% on anything you purchase on their site, be it a subscription or a watch from their store, and that also helps out the channel, as I am paid a small commission whenever that code is used. So that'll be it for now. What did you think of the Red Moon? What do you think of Wrist Check Monthly? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and also ring that bell so that you're notified whenever I release a new video. Stay safe, mask up, and be kind to each other, because life can change in a split second.